Hello, Gary Johnston here. I'm a psychotherapist specialising in anxiety disorders and trauma. And I've spent 40 years of my life working with victims of violence and anxiety disorders. I could tell you stories that would curl your hair about what people do to themselves and to other people in the name of religion, national pride, or just plain selfish stupidity. But there's a reason we do these things, and I'm here to tell you about a very dangerous mind-altering virus, the I-virus. And there's a 95% chance that you have already been infected. It affects everybody it invades or has contact with, modifying your view of your own personal values, and it's the underlying cause of all anxiety and depressive disorders. The next few minutes may be the determining factor in whether the virus destroys you and the entire human race, or whether you're a survivor. And I'll tell you how you can protect yourself and potentially be involved in preventing the meltdown of humanity. It should be no surprise to you that the level of violence within most societies around the world is on the increase. More people exhibit anger openly and convert that anger into assault and rape, and on a national level, wars and civil conflict. This is supported and underpinned by rising levels of anxiety and depression in the majority of the human race. There are many reasons this is happening, and each has the potential to be dealt with, but it won't be dealt with by wishing and hoping that the human race will be saved by an external intervention. It won't be fixed by assuming that the human race is evolving into a higher form as part of a spiritual miracle. If you had seen what I've seen over the many years I've been working in this area, and have seen the effects on the community at large, you would also be more than worried about the direction the human race is moving in. If you are, then I'm talking to the right person. An offshoot of the growing problem is what we are doing to our host planet by striving to be better, smarter, faster, and frankly lazier. In drilling down under the surface layers of this increasing violence and disregard for all around us, we find a common underlying factor, what I call the I-virus. The I-virus is an insidious, deadly virus that has infected the unconscious mind of almost all of the human race. It's basically a program. It's a virus that will ultimately destroy us if we continue to let it run out of control. It is the ultimate superbug that does not invade the body, but takes control of your mind, your behaviour, and your emotions. Yet its effect and dangers have been virtually ignored. Here are some of the serious social, health and economic costs of the I-virus. It's caused an increase in average anxiety levels in society of up to 500%. It's caused an increase in depression by over 1,000% and a dramatic increase in disease states, both real and psychosomatic. It's caused dramatic increases in personal anger levels worldwide. It's caused dramatic increases in community anger levels at all levels of social existence, and the destruction of all types of relationships, personal, business, social, and community. It's caused a frightening increase in potential for global conflict and irreversible damage to the environment, making human survival on the planet extremely unlikely within the next 3 or 4 generations. Now, that's a big statement, but you'll probably find out why I make that shortly. So what is this dangerous I-virus? The name pretty much tells it as it is. It's our concentration on self. It's our typical behaviour of seeing the world in terms of how it affects us, rather than seeing it in terms of what we can contribute for a greater benefit. It is having a drive to have more, to want more, to do more, and to satisfy our need to feel better about ourselves. When I talk about concentrating on self, I'm not talking about ego. The I-virus actually feeds on poor self-image, the same as cancers feed on sugar. The I-virus needs poor self-image and the self-destructive nature of it in order to sustain the long-term degenerative effects that it has. Even more dangerous, the I-virus has its own self-protective system to ensure that those infected do not do anything about trying to kill it or get rid of it. And the unfortunate, frightening reality is that at least 95% of the human race is now already infected. Now, the definition of insanity is to continue to do what we've always been doing in the same way we've been doing it and expecting the outcome to be different. Yet we continue with our heads buried in the sand because we don't want to see what is in front of us. We continue to hope and believe that the train barreling down the tracks towards us at 100 kilometers per hour is going to stop just because we're standing on the tracks in front of it. The simple truth is that we can no longer keep doing what we are doing to ourselves, to others, and to the planet. This statement's nothing new for many of you, but we continue as we've been doing with no change. Why? Because most of the human race are followers. We accept what our governments and the money men tell us. We accept the advertising story that is fed to us 1 million times a day. Underlying this is the all-invasive eye virus that blinds us and makes us deaf and dumb to all that's going on around us. We allow others to tell us how we should feel, how we should act, what we should want, what we should and shouldn't desire. We abdicate responsibility for the mess we are in, and we continue to try to feel better about ourselves by filling our lives with stuff, and by trying to score points off others by putting them down, hurting them, or just ignoring them. I'm asking for your help to make some change here. I believe this story must be told in a way that will make people listen and act. The story must be told so that you can live a more fulfilling and happy life. If you understood how your mind worked, to the extent that you could live and feel how you really wanted to, without anxiety, without depression or anger, would you use it and tell others? How would you feel if everybody around you actually cared about you to the extent they went out of their way to help you feel wonderful about yourself? And of course, you doing the same thing for them. One of the most dangerous effects of the eye virus is the sense of isolation and hopelessness that a large percentage of the human race feels. A change like what I'm describing changes the whole game. The moment we start focusing on others being just as important as we are, we also focus on what is good for the community, the nation, the religions, and the world. Acceptance and tolerance begin to filter through all aspects of government and commerce. Greed begins to abate, and common sense has a chance to prevail. We begin to treat our host, Mother Earth, with more respect and balance. The vast majority of the human race are controlled by beliefs and values that have no rational basis. They're filled with limiting beliefs, poor self-image, and overwhelming emotional responses that you find hard to control. But there are very powerful techniques now that can reverse all of that. They put you back in control of how you feel and how you think. They can provide you with an understanding of reality that is the kind of light bulb moment that enlightenment is supposed to be. Not some mysterious spiritual gift that comes only to those who meditate for 100 lifetimes. It's a view of reality as reality is, without the discoloration and the confusion that our programming inflicts upon us. I started an organisation called the Fellowship of Peace some years ago to try to influence people towards peace by gaining inner peace and self-respect. The Fellowship of Peace is not a religion, but a group of like-minded, thinking individuals who understand the need for change in the way the human race perceives itself and behaves at all levels of society. That work needs to be ramped up quickly to access more people, especially the younger generations who are currently struggling to exist and understand their environment. Disenfranchisement and suicides within young populations is frighteningly high. Mental illness is increasing annually with a further devastating effect on all of us. We want to get the message out faster and through more available media. I have a new book entitled The Eye Virus, Destroyer of Humanity that will be ready for publication early in 2013. As part of an integrated approach, we'll be creating a series of videos to promote the message with specific and practical methods of how we can fight the eye virus at a personal and a community level. Part of the program will be to have such valuable informational content in those videos that everyone will want to pass them on to their friends, families, schools and community leaders. The strategies for change are simple. They work. I've been using them for 40 years personally and more than 30 years on a clinical basis. And they do change lives for the better. As an individual, they help you feel lighter, happier, more joyful, and certainly become healthier. And you can have far better relationships and contribute to a brighter, warmer future for everyone around you, and in return, for you. This book and the videos are not just theory and lots of niceties and make noise about the problem. They contain real proven strategies to make a difference. Strategies that you can implement at a personal level to live a more joy-filled life, and strategies that you can implement to give the same gift to others that you care about, and to your community, and frankly to the world. What do you think would happen if 10 people around you did the same thing? And 10 people around them, and 10 people around them. By the time the message was spread through 10 levels of 10 each, we would affect the entire human race in a positive and sustainable way. The eye virus would be on the run, and the purveyors of war and financial mayhem could not have the power they currently thrive on. So to get this project going, I'm asking for your help in any way you can. We certainly need to raise an estimated $18,500 to pay for the video content and partly for the book editing and publishing. The more we raise, the more we can do, and the faster the word will spread. Our time is being contributed for free as we are as passionate about this cause and want to make sure it gets up. If you can help by contributing any level of funds, we would greatly appreciate it, and you'll get some serious personal and corporate benefits by doing so. If you can't afford to contribute funds, then please spread the word about this effort and tell everyone you know. Upload links to this campaign on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. The more people who know, the more funds we can raise, the faster the word will spread, and the more people we can influence at the so-called top, including governments. What happens if we don't reach the minimum $18,500 we need? We'll be doing it anyway. It will just take a lot longer, so funds contributed will still be used for the same purpose. However, we hope you understand the importance of this cause. It's for your future and that of your family and friends, as well as the greater good. If we can raise more, we can do more. Give more away and spread the word faster. Timing is now very important. As I record this, the Middle East is edging closer and closer to war. If you are complacent about war in the Middle East because you are too far away to affect you, I suggest you get a reality check. When it starts, the whole globe will be involved within a few years. We have almost run out of time. What we do now is likely to affect the survival of humanity and the viability of the planet as a living organism. If you're still watching this video or reading the script, something in what you have heard has rung a bell. I hope that bell is deafening. Ask yourself, what sort of a world do you want to live in? What sort of a world do you want your children, your family and your friends to live in? It's time for those who wield the financial and military power to be confronted with a human population willing to stand up and demand the freedom to help and support all of humanity, and to have the self-image and guts to say enough is enough. Please help in any way you can. Thanks for listening.